Should you buy cheap, I mean affordable camera gear? Whether you're just starting out in photography or you're trying to grow, you're trying to get better, you're trying to use things like lighting, and maybe you're doing some video, so you wanna have some wireless mics like this one, and you're out there looking at different brands and you notice something. You notice that there are certain brands that are really high quality, very expensive. They're kind of the brands that have been around for a long time. They're very well known, and they're very expensive. And then you have a whole bunch of other brands that are sometimes dramatically cheaper. They seem to do about the same thing, but you're not sure whether you should, buy something that's cheaper or invest the money into a more expensive piece of gear. What do you do? When I was first starting out in photography, actually before I even knew that it was a job, before I even knew people would pay you anything to take photos, I would spend my time walking through a local camera shop here called Henry's, and I just dreamed. I would just look around and look at these lights and these flashes and all this different stuff that seemed so cool to me, but it seemed impossible for me to ever afford things like that, simply because it felt so outrageously expensive. And for someone who was doing this for a hobby and fun, and I was in high school at the time, it seemed like a different planet to me. And it wasn't until I came across a brand called Yonguno, I think that's how you say it, and they sold flashes, and they still sell flashes today. Okay. And it was the first time that I saw a flash for Nikon available. And I think it was under $100. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, is this even real? Will this even work? Because the Nikon flash was 5 times that amount. I don't exactly remember the number, but I remember it being so expensive that it was just wow, I can barely get a camera that expensive. Why would I spend that money on a flash? I was just I can't do it. And so I ended up buying that flash and I used it for years. In fact, I only stopped using them completely about 2 years ago. So here was this very affordable, cheap flash that did the exact job that I wanted to. It didn't have all the bells and whistles. It didn't maybe work exactly how I would like it to work, but it let me get access to something that otherwise I would have absolutely no chance at getting. And that is why I have a very soft spot for cheap, I mean affordable camera gear. Now, recently, one of these types of brands reached out to me and said, hey, we want to send you a light and a microphone for you to test out and to share on your channel, which is very convenient because I have been searching for some type of video light that can replace my video light that I take on weddings. Because I've shared that light in a few videos on this channel and people have asked where can you get this? And it is a newer, the brand is called Newer, but they do not make that light anymore. And so I'm looking for something that is small, compact, and a powerful light that I can take on wedding days and use in scenarios like getting ready, things like that, to bring in a little pop of light. So this was a perfect opportunity to test out this light to see if it would work for me, and it would also give some exposure to you guys to see if you're interested in affordable light like this, you can check them out. I also have to tell you that I will never be doing this exact thing again. I just wanted to be like the cool kids on the YouTubes that clip on their mic onto their shirt. So I felt like I needed to try it once, but it will not be there. You will not see this blinding blue light. I think it's a blue light. Anyways, okay, let's move on. So this is the light that they sent me. It is an LED light that's pretty powerful. It has a blindingly red color on it, which if I will use this in the field, I'll probably put some vinyl over it just to block out the red because this is very intense. It doesn't quite go with my brand. I'm a little bit more of a subtle branded person. But this thing is it feels like an actual weapon. It is heavy. It is made out of some type of metal. This little LED light that I was talking about that I use in wedding days, you can see the size difference. I've been looking for something that is about this size. The only thing that I I did love about this LED panel is that it's so thin. But for, a little bit more thickness, but still a small light, the cool thing about this is that it is like so much more power, like 6 times more powerful, I think. I think this light gave off about like 10 watts, and this light apparently is about 60 watts. As I was saying, it is built like a weapon. It is very solid, and it even comes with this kind of like tripod mount thing, which is also like, it's quite cool and built very solidly. It enables you to put it onto a light stand, and then you can kind of move it around like that. There's a bunch of settings and like effects that you can do, like candle burning and lightning. I tried them and they're not that impressive. I don't really like them. I just want a light, and that can change from daylight to warm ambient light. So if I want to, I can match it to the current light in the room that I'm shooting. So I'm going to turn this on for you, and maybe this will kind of show you the difference of light that it gives. So, okay, now I'm like completely overexposed, but it gives you an idea. It's like, wow, this is like a powerful, chunk of light. It also comes with this like, okay, let me turn this off. I'm blinded. It also comes with like a little metal thingamabobber if you want to direct the light and have it a little bit more focused in one area. A couple things that I don't completely love about it is, one, that it takes like a full 3 seconds of pushing the on button to turn it on, which I'm used to something like this where it just like flicks on immediately. I don't foresee it being a huge issue. I don't think it's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds is a massive deal breaker. And then one other thing is that it does have a fan. So it's not completely silent. There's a setting that you can make it go to silent, but it's not really silent. You can still like hear it a little bit. But I have used it. I actually used this light on the last video that I made to bring this like fill light in, and I couldn't hear it on the microphone. The microphone was obviously faced away from it, but it wasn't loud enough that it created kind of like background noise that I had issues with. So that was good. So is this light perfect? Is this microphone perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it does the job and it does it really well. And that's what I love about brands like this, is that creates not perfect, but attainable photography equipment that you could actually afford and actually use as you're starting off in a photography business or enjoying photography as a hobby.